What's up, everybody? We back again. Welcome to Jumping In with Jack. I'm your man, Jack, and you know what we got to do. We got to get jumping, baby. So let's jump in real quick. Whew. It's been a frustrating week so far, man. Um, Mike Brown coming out saying that he trusts in Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin to get the job done really hurt my soul. Um, I had plans to put an episode out. Things got messed up, and we're here now. But I still got to get that content to y'all. So I gotta get this in. So let's talk about it, man. I wasn't a big fan of the of the choice to keep Zach Taylor and Duke Tobin. I thought we should have got rid of everybody, including all front office and coaching staff. Start fresh, but that didn't happen. So I thought it was many of ways we could have did this. I really was an advocate for Brian Flores to come in, have an interview with him, see what you thought. But again, that didn't happen. So let's talk about the what is now. Zach Taylor's still here. Duke Tobin's still here. All the coaching staff is staying. Nobody's changing. So where does that leave us? That leave us in a predicament where we're trying to say we got to figure out the defense now, and possibly a left tackle, if not left tackle, or and if we don't re-sign this man, right guard situation as well. And with Amarius Mims coming out um after this game with the Cleveland Browns saying, hey, I want Rajner back as my right guard because he's built such a good rapport with Dalton Rajner. That says a lot. Uh, we saw a big up in his performance this year when Rajner and him finally got a connection going after probably about mid-season. We really saw it coming into fruition. The right side looked very stout, looked very solid. Run game, pass game, it looked good. So I'm really excited to see that Amarius Mims is speaking out early, saying, hey, bring this guy back because he is a reason why my success shot through the roof. And we're talking about we found a perennial all-pro with our right tackle, Amarius Mims. So with that being the case, I would think, just as a GM, if the guy that's been protecting my quarterback's front side at a high rate and a high ability says bring the guy back that's beside him that's been doing it at a good rate and a good ability, I would think I would follow in the footsteps and follow his direction and bring him back. So that would be first move and first indication that, hey, we need to get this done. So that solidifies the right side of the line. Obviously, center's taken care of with Ted Karras, and then you would have Rosner, Amarius Mims done. Next on the list would be left guard, which I think still is a position where we are okay. Like I feel like it's not a bad vibe there. I think Lucas Patrick and the couple other guys we had there with Cordovos and a couple other guys fitting in really were starting to fit the bill, starting to gel very well. It wasn't many pressures, but again, I'm not counting that in its totality because the fact that, again, those last 3 games of the season were against low-rated opponents, i.e. not excluding Myles Garrett and that defensive line from the equation. The Miami Dolphins didn't have a great defensive line. The Cardinals wasn't a great defensive line outside of, obviously Josh Sweat, but again, not a perennial defensive line like the Browns. So again, I commend them because they still did well against the Browns as it is. I think the only sack was Myles Garrett in the fourth quarter, which was the record-breaking sack, but still great performance by the O-line. I just still think we didn't do enough offensively to be able to seal that game away, and we didn't do enough defensively to seal that game away. Even though offense did put it in the end zone, I feel like that game should have been 21-0 going into halftime, but instead we were looking at a 14 deficit, 14-7 or 14-10 deficit or 14-7 deficit going into halftime because we can't score and we give the defense 2 free touchdowns. I know one was a tip pass and I know one was a fumble, which gives all fault to the offense. But again, we can move on from that because the season's over. So let's keep going. I think left tackle is going to be a conversation that needs to be had. Orlando Brown is getting older. You're starting to see digression. You're starting to see regression. He's trying to get out the gate faster. He's getting a lot more false start penalties because of that. So that's telling me he's trying to find advantages to win. And I know all tackles do that, but at the rate of what he's doing it at, it's telling me that he's trying to find a way to either beat you to the spot because he can't get to the spot before you anymore, or he's having trouble or he's injured or something like that. And he was hiding the injury and he was still trying to be there for his quarterback, protect his backside, be his bodyguard, as he called it. So I think left tackle would be a situation, a position of need, a position that we want to look at. I think honestly, if it's me going into this offseason, I wouldn't mind trading Orlando Brown, trading him off to get some more capital or get a new player into the building, defensive player in the building at that. So I think if the Raiders are looking for a left tackle, Max Crosby is right now looking to get out of Las Vegas. Think maybe Orlando Brown, maybe a third, a fourth, and a second next year, or a second next year, a third this year, and maybe a fourth for maybe Max Crosby and for Max Crosby in a fifth, Max Crosby in a fourth. Works out for us. It gives us a new edge, a new elite edge rusher on the edge. Trey Hendrickson is walking. We need another guy in the room to be able to fit that billet. Yes, it's a contract we have to take on, but at the talent that we're getting, I would take that. And then we go into the offseason looking for a tackle. I think that's possible. I think that is a situation where we look at it and we say, okay, we can find a tackle going into this offseason. I feel like that's possible. Not to mention, I feel like defensively, if we go down and look, if I go to offensive tackles right now, let's just take a second to look. If we go to tackle right now, Braden Smith is on the board for 17 million. His last previous average was 17 million a year. I wouldn't be mad at Braden Smith from the Colts coming to Cincinnati. So you get Braden Smith, Lucas Patrick, Cordell Volson, whoever you want to play left guard, Ted Karras, Dalton Rosner, Amarius Mims. Bang. Offensive line secured. Just saying. Or if you really want to, go Rob Havenstein. Kind of older guy, but you won't spend that much money on him. You won't have to spend the bank on him. He's still a good commodity because he's protecting for the Rams right now. Or you can go Cam Robinson, but he struggled on the Browns, so I don't know how he's going to do it on Cincinnati going against the same guy that's been giving us havoc for the past what 8-9 years with Myles Garrett. So no, I would say let's go Braden Smith. Let's bring him in, bringing some new blood, a guy that's in the prime of his career right now at the age of, what is that, 29? So yeah, he's still in his prime. Offensive tackles usually don't burrow out to about 32, well, 32, 33. So you can get him on a 3-year deal. He comes in, plays for his 30, 31. Then you get it. Then you can figure out the situation at 33, 32, 33. Then you're in a good spot. So let's move on. Okay, so we got offensive line solidified. And without even giving up our main core pieces of it, i.e., Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Joe Burrow. We didn't give him any pieces or Chase Brown. So that's good. I think, secondly, let's go one more thing for the offense. Let's figure out what the role for Taj Brooks is. Did we bring him in to be Samaj P. Ryan? Did we bring him in to be Chase Brown if Chase Brown didn't work out? What was the purpose for drafting Taj Brooks? That's what I want to know. Just so now when we go into the offseason, if Samaj P. Ryan was just a learning curve for Taj Brooks, we could let Samaj P. Ryan go right now. Get some more money in our cap space. Even though I know it's going to be banking a lot because we got a lot of players leaving because they were on prove-it deals, and I think none of them proved it. So, I think that's a big one. So let's figure out what we're doing with Samaj P. Ryan. I mean, what we're doing with Taj Brooks and Samaj P. Ryan. I feel like Taj Brooks, we have to figure that out because guess what? He's on a cheap deal. So if we're going to use him, use him. Last but not least, and this is something that I really advocate for, get Chase Brown done now. Don't wait till later on. Don't wait till he gets down the road when he's last year of his contract. We're trying to figure it out. No, get it done now. Get Dax Hill done now. Get DJ Turner done now. So we don't have to worry about none of this going into the seasons further. Even if Taj Brooks, even if DJ Turner, Dax Hill are just, okay players and we got them for the next 3 years, does that not at least put us in a good position for other positions that we need to put money towards? So since we're talking about the defense, let's get to the defense. I think the defense was a problem, but it was a problem because of talent, not a problem because they couldn't play. But because we were, I don't think it was a coaching thing. I think it was a talent thing. I feel like secondary took a step up until third down. Linebackers we're too young. We're too young in the linebacker core. Obviously, I love that we're young in the linebacker core, but we need somebody to lead them in a sense, be the mentor to those guys. Because I feel like Logan Wilson was a good mentor, but again, we got rid of Logan Wilson for draft picks. So with that being the case, it put us in a very weird predicament because now we got our guys learning on the fly, and learning on the fly only doesn't really work well if they're not at peak performance. And I think when they were a first year coordinator, first year players trying to learn the system and still learn the NFL tricks of the trade. So bring somebody in that's going to help them. So a great person I think would be a great fit to be able to help them learn and be great pros and also learn, learn how to learn from tape, learn from mistakes that they've made, picking up certain cues and things that could help them be faster on the field. I think this guy would be perfect for them because he was a great perennial player at his position. Go sign Levante David. Levante David has been to a Super Bowl, won a Super Bowl, and has been around some of the greats, i.e., Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Devin White. Not gonna say he's a great, but he's a great player. But he was a good player. I think he's played with some. He's been in those big moments. He's played against a bunch of greats with Travis Kelsey, Pat Mahomes, Tom Brady, um, Peyton Manning at one point, Drew Brees. He's seen it all. Matt Ryan, Julio. He's seen things. He's seen a lot. He's played against a lot of different offenses, a lot of different He's seen every single type of offense when it comes to NFL coaches right now. He's seen all the motions, all the cheat motions, all the crazy blocking schemes, everything. So I think he would be a great player to put in your linebacker room to be able to help these guys be better. Because we can't keep watching our young linebackers look like lost puppies when in the passing game. We can't see them instead of hitting the C gap and plugging the hole, they're hitting the B gap and getting caught in the mush. We can't watch them continuously be guarding open space and they could be guarding a route. You get what I'm saying? Or could be helping out in the sense of making sure the quarterback doesn't get out, i.e. the Bills game. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a guy to stabilize the linebacker room because the linebacker room has nobody that it is worth listening to. And that's no offense to Warren Burke, who has a Super Bowl with the Eagles. That's no offense to none of those guys. That's no offense to Akeem Gaither, who ended up going over to I think it was the Cardinals. But it's just one of those things where we need a guy in the lockers. No offense to Logan Wilson, because Logan Wilson was there, but I don't think he had enough time to be able to continuously put tools into their toolbox to help them succeed. So let's do that. Let's go get Levante David, bring him into the room, and let's bring a guy in there that can help them. Now, let's move down a ladder. Let's go to the D line. Like I said, I would love to give Orlando Brown to the Raiders and go get Max Crosby. So let's go add another person to the room to help them out because Max Crosby can't teach them everything. Let's go get Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa. I feel like these would be two guys. I would rather prefer Khalil Mack because we've seen him teach and make a guy good, make a guy look way better his next year, i.e., Tuilotu from the Chargers. He has looked great this year. We've seen it. We've seen it time and time again. I think he has, what is it? I think he's up to 9+ sacks, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check to make sure because I do not want to be wrong. And I'm okay with searching this right now because at the end of the day, what's better than the right now? You get what I'm saying? If we go down, sacks. Oh, Adafe Away is in here. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Tui Pelotu has 13 sacks this year. And they've said multiple times that he's been under Khalil Mack's wing, just trying to understand and learn as much as he can at the edge position. So what do you think he could do for a Miles Murphy, for a Shamar Stewart, who needs to learn a pass rush bag, for the guys like Cam Sample? But Cam Sample, I want him gone no way, so I wouldn't even name Cam Sample. But just in general, think about if we can bring Khalil Mack in on third down and have Miles Murphy at DT, Shamar Stewart at DT, Khalil Mack on the edge, Max Crosby on the edge. Does that not sound like a dominating force coming at you on third down and long, where we struggled at this season? because we gave up multiple third downs along, and Al Gordon could play his favorite defense with his man coverage. I like it. I like the idea. It's a very athletic line with a very, very good sense of pressure. Max Crosby, athletic. Shamar Stewart, athletic. Miles Murphy, athletic. Khalil Mack, still athletic at the age of 32. Well, 33, excuse me. I think he might be 34 while I'm playing. But still, I think that would be good choices. I think that would help out. With this wish list, we could put ourselves in position to come back next year as a defense that is feared or a defense that is actually like competitive. We don't have to be a top 10 defense. We just got to be we just got to be in that 15, 18 range. And that puts us in the playoffs. A 15, 18 range defense, we're in the playoffs and we're not even fighting for the division. We are the division winners. Just real. We beat the Browns twice. We don't get skunked by the Ravens. I don't think we get skunked by the Ravens with that defense. And then last but not least, I know we still have a couple pieces left that I still got to talk about, but let's talk about safety now. Geno Stone is out of there. Geno Stone will not be a Cincinnati Bengal next year. Jordan Battle, you're cutting it close. Start now, figuring it. Start now, trying to get into your bag, learning from your mistakes. Go over the film. Look at what you did. Look at what you did wrong, what you did right, things that you could improve on, things that you could see that you may have second guessed yourself here, but you didn't. But you could have just went with it, and you would have made the play or whatever. Because we've seen that a couple times. Where I feel like you're second guessing. Like, should I lay the boom or should I go for the pick? Or no, bro, just be a football player. I feel like you're thinking too much sometimes. But at the same time, I feel like as an NFL player, I feel like that's where you see people who can think and move at a high rate. And I think right now, Jordan Battle's trying to figure out how to think and move at a higher level because I see some plays where he's right there. And in some plays, he's just behind. And in some plays, he's ahead of it. So I know that he's picking up these things. He's seeing certain things from his film watching or whatever. But now we need to see it grow. Now we need to see more. But safety wise, let's talk about it. I think this is a position where we could go into the draft and fill, but I would rather fill it with a commodity that's already proven. So for me, Jalen Thompson, Kevin Byard. That's my two choices. I think Kevin Byard will be a great ball hawk. I think that means Jordan Battle can play a little bit more down in the box. Let him play one high and let him just go roam the field. Let him go be the ball hawk we've seen him be for the past 3, 4, 5 years. Even back when he was at Tennessee the first time, he was a ball hawk. That was his job. Go hawk the ball. Go find it. Go get us the ball back. Go get Joey B his ball back. And guess what? He did it at a high rate. He led the league in interceptions this year with 7. So we know he could still do it. And that was in Chicago. And that's with Jalen Johnson going down for some time and then coming back and then still being a baller. So I think these are the moves that we can make. Jalen Thompson's not a bad safety. He's not a great safety either, but I think he would be better than Geno Stone. He's younger, and I think he's faster, and I think he would be a better one high look safety than he would be Geno Stone. So I think this puts a lot more athleticism in the secondary, which means we could do a lot more things and a lot more exotic coverages. I think Geno Stone was limited athletic-wise, so I think that's why certain coverages look busted. Just real. I think in cover 2, you put a seam in it, he can't get from the hash to the numbers. We've seen it. Pittsburgh game. Pat Frymuth seam route. DK went up the sideline. He took DK first, and then guess what? He threw it to Pat Frymuth. He was nowhere in the picture by the time the ball got to him. And it was still a 30, 40-yard throw. So that tells me everything I need to know. You don't have the athleticism to get from you don't have that sideline to sideline speed. So I would love to see my boy, Kevin Byard, come on down to Cincinnati and fill this safety role for us. And he's not afraid to come down and get dirty. And if we want to add a third guy in there for Jordan Battle, I will go get Kyle Duggar. He was just in Pittsburgh. Well, he's still in Pittsburgh right now, but he'll be out of Pittsburgh in this offseason. Go get Kyle Duggar. He's a hitter, can be in the box, can play that extra linebacker role if you need him. He's not afraid to come down and make some contact, and we don't have that right now. Jordan Battle is not coming down cracking something. I'm just being real. We ain't seen that out of him yet. Von Bell used to come down and crack something. Ask Juju Smith-Schuster. But we haven't seen that out of our defense in a while. So let's put some guys in there that can help us. I think Kyle Duggar would be a great addition. I think Kevin Byard or Jalen Thompson would be a great addition to the team. Corner, I don't think you need to do much work at. But if you want to bring in a guy just to play slot or be that number two, it's a more routes we can go. So let's just say we want to go corner. If we want to go corner, I like Jamel Dean. Bring Jamel Dean in. Or if you wanna go somebody a little bit younger, Eric Stokes. Bam. You can move Dax back to the slot. Let him play those tight ends, those slot DB or those slot wide receivers. Put Eric Stokes on one side, put DJ Turner on the other, and let's rock out. I like this. So let's go down a little review real quick. So corner room, Eric Stokes. Safety room, Jalen Thompson, Kevin Byard, Kyle Duggar for strong safety. If we need another strong safety in the room, linebacker Levante David. I think we're hitting on good all cylinders right now. If we go down to the defensive line, we already traded in this sense Orlando Brown for Max Crosby. Go get Khalil Mack in the offseason for free agency. Bring Khalil Mack in. Let's bring a tutor, a guy who's just tutored two guys in with Adolfo Way and Tui Pelotu into some good numbers this year. Let's bring this guy and see if he can work his magic twice and get Shamar Stewart and Miles Murphy up the par. If he could do that, we're set for a good course because we got two guys who one going into a contract year, another one still on his rookie deal, and they're both progressing at a good rate. And that's with TJ Slayton and maybe another D tackle coming in, a rookie D tackle coming in to be able to fit the billing. So at that point, we go into the draft with a situation where we're not looking for a defensive edge no more. We can look for defensive tackle. We can look for offensive tackle if we need to fill that void. We could do a surprise thing and take T. Higgins and trade him for another D tackle and then go get Cornell Tate, who is T. Higgins 2.0. Just saying, you open up your possibilities to do a lot more things and get a contract off your book and add more money to your stockpile, which means now you can put yourself in a better predicament going into, let's just say, contract negotiations for other players. Yes, I would love to keep all three of those main core guys with T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Joe Burrow. But if trading one of them, i.e. T. Higgins, because I wouldn't trade Jamar Chase or Burrow, if trading T. Higgins and trading Orlando Brown puts us in a better position and then we get a new surefire number two with Cornell Tate, I feel like that's a great situation. You bring Max Carson to the squad. You bring Khalil Mack to the squad. You get a defensive tackle to the squad. Let's just say Jeffrey Simmons. Just saying he could play the three technique and he could play edge if you need him to. But I think in a 4-3, he would be a three technique all day long. TJ Slayton on one side, Jeffrey Simmons on the other, Max Crosby on the outside with Shamar Stewart, Khalil Mack, Miles Murphy, all having chances at the pot. And then if we really want to get freaky, we could throw Jeffrey Simmons. Honestly, I would trade Orlando Brown for Jeffrey Simmons. But I know right now the Titans line isn't that bad, but I think they might need help at a tackle spot. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Orlando Brown for Jeffrey Simmons or Max Crosby. T. Higgins could probably come in as added collateral if they think they need more. But I think at that point we're upping that pick to a second or third overall, or second or third round pick, which is great for us because that gives us 2 seconds or 2/3 to be able to enhance our depth in the draft. But I would rather keep T. Higgins and just trade Orlando Brown and just give up some picks because we don't draft well in the first place. So that's what I'm thinking. That is my offseason wish list. Last but not least, we can go back through the Zach Taylor and um, Mike Brown comments. Yeah, I didn't want Zach Taylor to still be here, but at the end of the day, he is still here. I didn't want Duke Tobin to still be here, but again, he's still here. I think he could. I think they have the coaching prowess to possibly get us back to the coaching prowess. Well, they have the opportunity to get us back to the Super Bowl, but it's going to come with a lot of changes. And I think one of the changes that need to be made still right now, I think Zach Taylor needs to give up play calling duties. It's too many times where we've used timeouts early for no reason. Timeouts because we can't get the play in. So we got Dan Pritchard back there. Let him get a shot. The worst that happens is you take back over duties because he's not fitting the billing, and we understand why now. That's the worst that can happen. The best that can happen is he's exactly what you hired. He's exactly what you knew he was, and you hired the right person. And Joe Burrow has an MVP-esque season or a good season, and we're back in the playoffs. And you're looking like the genius because you took a chance and said, okay, this is the guy. I hired him because he's that type of guy. So that would be that's my spiel. But again, let me know in the comment section what you think. What is your Bengals offseason wish list? What are you thinking we need? What do you think to be the best situation for us? And this is just speaking on free agency right now as it stands, because obviously the season's not over yet. We know some contracts could be, some things could change, some contracts could get moved around, some players could get re-signed. But as we stand right now, this is what I see could be the best situation. Because I would love to go into the draft knowing that we just need to hunt for a position or hunt for less. I don't want to be hunting for less than. I don't want to be hunting for more than more than two positions, more than 2 or 3 positions. Because at that point, we're putting ourselves at a disadvantage. Then we're hoping on the draft to hit. I want to go into the draft to say, like, if it hits, if they come in here, they're going to have people to help them, and if it hits, great. But if it don't, we got the veterans to fill that void until they get to their point. So let me know in the comment section what you think. I'm your man, Jack. This is Jumping In with Jack, and we are
Where were you at when I popped off? Riding the coupe with the top off. I cannot fuck with no knockoff. I'm in the stool like a pop star. Damn it, I feel like an outlaw. You wanna talk what about, dog? I'm in the room with the outlaws. I'm in the room with the outlaws. Let me deliver the home run. I'm calling this one a walk off.